Hey, it's the Evolved Nurse, Lifestyle Motivation and Podcasting. Welcome to the Evolved Nurse. Well, hello. Welcome to the Evolved Nurse. I would say podcast, but I don't know if this is going to make it to the podcast. I think this may just make it to the YouTube channel. But if it does make it to the podcast, you know the saying, everything is growing, changing, and evolving. Even you, from the student nurse to the baby nurse, the veteran nurse, off the bedside and into entrepreneurship, you have arrived and you have evolved. So welcome to the Evolved Nurse podcast YouTube channel. Um, I'm kind of sort of trying to get the feel of actually utilizing my iPhone to record. So that's why I'm kind of looking between my computer and my iPhone because I don't know what it quite looks like. But I'm going to try to focus on looking at you all. Hello. Um and I just got off work. I told y'all I was not going to keep filming after I get off work, right? Drop my baby off. And then decided that I needed to go ahead and get this out before I did not do the episode at all. I also do have an episode that I'm recording with a lovely guest today as well. So once I get off the phone with y'all, child, I'm gonna do what I need to do, take a nap, and then I'll get up and do sort through other things. But I'm here to talk to y'all because you know that I am currently in my DNP program. And y'all, when you are getting a degree in organizational leadership, you have to recognize that you are signing up to be a leader of somebody. You are signing up to be somebody's leader. And you have to understand that you're not only managing your own feelings, you're also managing other people's feelings. And so that's where it comes in with group work. First of all, let's ask you a few questions. One, how do you deal with group work? Are you the person who is the micromanager? Are you the person who's the scapegoat? Are you the person who acts like they're doing something, but they really not doing nothing? Who are you in the group? Tell me. Because I got a cute little story time, really not cute at all, a cute little story time to tell y'all about my experience with groups. And I will start off with saying that I have had more good groups than bad groups, but the bad groups kind of stand out. And so I have really never cared for group projects, right? Um, I think I'm off level, y'all. But since I'm already recording, we're gonna stay like this until the next video when y'all see me again. Um, so with that being said, I have never really cared for doing group projects because I've always been the one that does the most work. And so when I feel like that, I don't necessarily want to do the group project because I know that I'm gonna do the most work. So this new group that I'm in, now my old group, we did the thing. We did some good work. We did some good papers. Um, and so now I recently had to do a paper. And so one of the group members, she reached out to us, and mind you, we're coming upon spring break. She reached out to us and she's like, hey, this date is coming up. I'm sick, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So mind you, everybody is not always as responsive on the app that we use for school. And so I get there maybe a day short or whatever, but they haven't started conversing yet. They haven't started conversations yet. So when I started the group text, they had just started talking. So she was like, oh, is it okay if we do X, Y, and Z? And we're like, yeah, because we're go with the flow people. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do my part. And then, once I do it, I'm doing the introduction. Mind you, we have not sat down with each other and talked about anything. I have I have become a planner, right? Because I've realized that in group settings, it's not as effective to text about everything that you're supposed to be doing because we work. We're workers, we're moms, we're entrepreneurs, YouTubers, podcasters, all the things. We're all of those things. And so with being all of those things, we're also students and doctoral prepared students. And so I was like, hey, do you all want to meet up? We can set a time to meet up. She was like, I'm sick. And I was like, well, it's only going to take about 10, 15 minutes. You don't even really have to say anything. We just need to meet so that we can specify some things. And she was like, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And I'm like, we really need to meet about this project, right? Because she's saying that she's leaving out. Now mind you, she knew she had this trip before this project, so she should have reached out to us a lot earlier, but she did not. So then it gets into, okay, she starts to be like, well, I'm not going to be able to make it. So we go back and forth a little bit. I'm like, well, um okay. So I asked the other group members, are y'all okay with coming to the group, coming to chat with me? And they were all like, yeah, that's fine. We can pick a date. So we picked a date. And then she was like, well, maybe I'll be able to make it, but I'm not sure yet. And so, no biggie. We already decided that she's probably not gonna make it to the group. But we also get on our group call. Well, before our group call, she's like, hey, I was like, do y'all want to do FaceTime or do y'all want to do Zoom? Because both of them have screen sharing. So she was like, hey, you should do Zoom because it has the AI that allows you to take notes. And I'm like, since all of us can't be there, I'm like, baby, that's a choice. You're choosing to not come to this meeting. But, we use FaceTime, we do all the notes, and then we realize that we really don't know what the heck is going on. We're really in the blind because our our teachers just sent out something new that we need to know about the project. And so then we're like wondering, how does she feel like she doesn't need to be here? How? How does she feel like she doesn't need to be here? When we have spent 20, 30 minutes pondering our thoughts, trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this, how does she figure that she knew what she needed to do? And so my automatic mind went to, she started doing this project before she even talked to us. But my first mind had already gone to go ahead and email your professors, because most of the time when you have group members who do not give their time like everybody else, you brush it to the side, you don't say anything. And so I decided this time that I was going to say something. So I did. I reached out to my professors, they emailed me back. And so she was like, my stuff will be put in on this day. So she put her stuff in, and then she followed up with, well, initially I was like, hey, this is what we talked about. Make sure that your stuff aligns with our paragraphs, because of course when you're writing these articles, papers and stuff with somebody else, they want your tone to sound similar, but most of the time it's not going to sound similar, but you want it to. But I'm like, okay, can you make sure that you put something in that's related to this? She was like, no, you can do it. I was like, no, just make sure that you're incorporating what we're talking about into your introduction paragraph. When she uploaded it, she was like, this is my final paragraph. I'm like, you're fine. You didn't even have an initial. You didn't even have an initial to have a final. But she was like, this is my final. And I'm like, your final? Okay. Can you go in and just add a few sentences about what needs to be done, like about the topics that we covered in our meeting? no, you can do it. I'm like, no, you can do it. You have time to do it. We were on your time schedule. We did what we needed to do. So no, you can do it. She was like, no, I did the introduction. So that allows for me to be able to, that allows for you to be able to make edits. And I'm like, no, I'm like, that's your section. You can do it. No, well, since you know what you want to say, then you should do it. And I'm like, no. No, I'm not gonna do this back and forth with you. No. So she goes back and forth with me, back and forth with me. And I'm like, look, it is your responsibility to do your part. Well, I'm not doing it and that's it. And I'm like, I said, we all, first and foremost, she said she was sick. Then she said she was coming off of being sick. Then we find out later on that she was busy and she just really didn't want to show up to the meeting. Then she said it was too short notice, but you knew that you had this trip coming up and you knew that you were in a rush to do something, so you should have reached out to us. Then she said, I had my stuff done 2 weeks ago. And this group project, as a group, we were supposed to collectively find out what we wanted to do. She had already decided what she wanted to do without the group. And so I'm like, girl, girl, you decided what you wanted to do without speaking to your group members. We didn't even know each other at the time. So how do you go and just decide what you want to do, decide the topic that you want to talk about, and then go and make an intro about something that ain't got nothing to do with what we're supposed to be talking about? So, y'all, I'm frustrated. And so I'm like, I said, we all have things we need to do. I said, my baby has the pink eye. I work nights. I have a job. I'm an entrepreneur. All of the things. We all have things going on, but we all manage to show up. And she was like, don't pull that on me. I work nights too. I'm like, I'm not pulling anything on you. I'm laying out the facts. The facts are we all have lives. That is that's the downside to being in a doctorate level program and still working full time, because we all still have responsibilities, but we still make the time. I oftentimes will flex my schedule for everybody else because I work nights. So like I'm doing right now, I'll be like, okay, if y'all want to meet at 8 o'clock, I'll just stay up a little while longer and we can meet, or we can meet whenever I wake up. So I've been doing that since I started the program. And so for me, I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it too. Like we all can work together. No, 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 no. She said, you can do it. I'm over it. Whatever. I said, okay, so since you don't want to be professional, I'll just go ahead and let you know that I'll be escalating this to our professors. Don't threaten me because I'll tell them about you too. And I was like, I said, I'm not threatening you, and it's fine if they hear your side of the story as well. Still keeping it very professional, but at the same time, what have y'all gone through with your group members? Because I know sometimes it can be a bit much, but I've never actually dealt with this in a group setting. Now, because I have been in managerial positions before, dealing with people is something that I've been doing for a long time. So it's never really the hardest thing to do for me with communication. But what I can say is that it's hard to deal with people who do not respect other people. And so after that, I went ahead and I let my other group members know, hey, I apologize for the back and forth that we had, but it wasn't unprofessional on my end. Whatever I said wasn't unprofessional at all. I try to make sure that everything I do is with intention and very professional. Just because you never know who you're talking to, you never know. And so with that, I'm like, how do you deal with group settings? Like, are you a good group member? Are you me in the group where you're like, hey, we all list stuff out, we do all these things, we all get our stuff done? Or are you the person in the group that's like this person? And you probably need to change that. If you are the person in this group that is not pulling your weight, that that has a lot of priorities, but you don't know how to manage those priorities. I really do feel like you need to do some soul searching, because y'all be stressing us out. Y'all really be stressing us out. But I can say that I'm sleepy, I'm tired, and I am about to go. This is gonna make it to my YouTube channel. I have to find days that I'm gonna be live on my YouTube channel. Y'all tell me what days y'all want to see stuff from me. Also tell me what you want to hear from me, what you want to see from me. I'm thinking about doing like lifestyle and stuff on here too, because it's the evolved nurse. We're not just nurses, we're everything else. We can be whatever we want to be. And if that's me being a mom, if that's me showing you the tea party, if that's me showing you what I do in a day to day, I guess those are things that I can do. So I just want to know what you all want to see from me. But y'all have joined me in my office, in my cloffice rather, and initially I was sitting on my floor on my clothing tub doing my podcast. And so if you have not heard my podcast, go over to The Evolved Nurse on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, because you're already on YouTube, and you can find something that is for you. If you are stressed out and you're trying to figure out how to navigate burnout, go listen to this episode with Nurse Dara. If you have a business and you decided you don't want to be a nurse anymore, you're off the bedside into entrepreneurship, you should definitely go listen to a few of the episodes, but one in particular with Rich Lash Nurse Destiny. um it's so many beautiful women that I have interviewed, and I really do want y'all to go and listen to those episodes because they are amazing. I'm about to record one today. I'm recording two next week with some very, very lovely people. Make sure you're tuning in really next week. You'll have an episode coming out tomorrow as well. But next week I'll be talking about my birth story because I had a home birth. I'll be talking to my doula, who is now a midwife, and I think that y'all should cue into that conversation, but also cue into the other conversations that I will have with these lovely ladies. And also, I'm about to go to sleep, y'all. I'm about to knock out because I worked last night. So, and drop my baby off at daycare. So I am about to clock out. And with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. This is gonna be uploaded. I'm gonna put it for live maybe 9, 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. With that being said, y'all have a great, great day. And it is what it is, y'all. Sometimes these groups I have you feeling away.